Right. So I can't believe we're gonna do this on a random Thursday on a movie that I don't know what you think because I never watched this as a kid of Howard the Duck. So I'm gonna tell you what my sister told me when I told her like, hey, I'm watching this movie so we can talk about it. And this is what she told me. Her husband, my brother-in-law, and his friends loved it as a little kid.
I loved it too, or
See,
I thought I did.
yeah. So you told me that, and I told her like, well, I think Shane liked it a lot because Lea Thompson,
Yeah.
and I can see why. Okay.
I mean, come on,
So
Back to the Future too.
yo, Back to the Future too, and she looked really good in this movie. There's a part where she's in a lingerie, and I'm like, whoa,
Yeah,
what
she
does
was in
this?
her underwear.
She's in her underwear, right? So there's several scenes in this movie that make me question the PG rating.
There's a lot of. I'm actually watching it again. There's a lot of questions I
There
have
is,
now.
but there's three major scenes that I'm gonna point out right now that make me question because when I was watching it, like, huh, I thought this was rated PG. Every time I watch these scenes, right, like I thought this was rated PG. The first one is in the beginning when in the scene where he's being shot out of the chair. He's go to this apartment, right, and then there was this lady duck taking a
Yep.
bath, but you
It's
can see
everything.
her lady duck parts like her breast, okay, and I'm thinking like, is this rated PG? Or how long was that? It
But
was
hey,
long enough for
hey,
me to make
hey,
an impression in my head.
ducks. They're just ducks.
They're
Okay, they're
just
just
ducks.
ducks.
So I
So
figured
that's
that
why. That's
because they're
okay.
not humans, so they could do that. Okay, fine. Let
Apparently,
it
you
go.
see some big boobs all day long.
Yeah. So after that, right, and then in the middle of the movie, no, not in the middle, like almost towards the end middle of the movie, Howard gets a job. He works at this hot tub place. I don't know what that kind. I don't know what kind of work that is. He cleans up the pools and whatever. I think they just made that part up because he's a duck. Like, whoa, what kind of a job would a duck have? I know they'll make him clean jacuzzis. But this is a very shady joint, okay? I don't know what
He's
it
a
is. This is
he's a
the
water
place,
specialist. Okay,
yeah,
he's a water
a
specialist.
water specialist. But like, whatever's happening around Howard, right? Like, what the hell's going on
Yeah,
here? Like,
it's like a hot tub sex place.
yeah, it's a hot tub sex place. Like, it feels like that's where the businessmen go and have affairs, what that no one knows about. Okay, so that made me
Okay.
question the PG-13 rating. The third one
Wait,
is
was this
Lea
PG
Thompson in
13?
underwear. What?
Was this PG-13? This is
No, it's
PG.
PG. I'm
Yes,
sorry, it's
exactly.
PG. So when they
But the
show her
underwear,
in
I guess
that
the underwear wasn't a big deal either.
yeah, so when she was in her undies, right, like underwear, and then she's having that sexual tension with Howard the Duck, I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Is this PG? Is this what they allow me to watch
Okay.
back then at that age?
Yeah, well, here's the funny thing. Okay, I watched this when I was a kid. Okay,
Yeah.
it's on HBO. I've only saw it a few times, and I don't remember. I mean, I think it was interesting. I don't remember like loving it. It's not something I like. I didn't watch it till I wore it out, like Goonies or Back to the
Okay, yeah.
Future,
Don't compare to
or
those
even
places.
or even like Short Circuit. But the thing is, watching it now, I'm like, this is a very adult.
Very. Like
A
the
lot of
things that
stuff is
Howard
very adult.
says.
But here's the
Yes.
funny thing: when I'm telling this myself, I'm thinking, why would they make this so adult? Because if any adults are watching this, they're losers.
So
I mean, it's not that good. It really wasn't that good. I mean,
it's geared
it's
towards children,
interesting.
okay? So
It's
remember at
interesting,
the
but it,
end that they have that scientist guy that turned into like a dog overlord? That remind me a little bit of like Big Trouble in Little China. With that like I'm the overlord. Like that kind of
wasn't
voice. I'm like, what
wasn't
the
the
heck's
doctor? Wasn't that scientist the guy that was on? I think he was on Beetlejuice. Wasn't he on Beetlejuice? One of the
yes.
house guests
Yeah,
on
yeah,
Beetlejuice.
yeah. He was in. I remember him in Beetlejuice. Yeah,
Beetlejuice.
but like I was just so taken off by this movie. I'm like, is this a superhero movie? But this is a Marvel character. Okay.
Yeah, this is a Marvel comic book.
You know
This
what's
is
really crazy? So I didn't know much about Howard the Duck, right? I just know he's created by Marvel, and that's why. He is actually in the Civil War comic book. He's trying to register himself in the superhuman registration thing.
really okay.
Yes,
I'm
so I
glad.
had to read about it. Like what, dude? I don't know where to go with this. When I watch Howard the Duck, like once is enough. I am the person that like if I watch a movie, right? I had never watched a movie I did not never finish. Even though it's bad, right? I stick to my guns, I watch through the whole thing. There's so many bad movies I watch in my life, but I watch every single minute of everything I ever watch. I
Okay.
never seen something where like it's bad and I'm like, oh I stopped
Did you
watching
think
it.
about quitting on this one?
I did not quit on this one. There's other worse movies I've seen.
Exactly. That's what I was just saying. This is bad. I mean, we're really tearing it down, but I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, I'm not going to recommend it to anybody. I mean, it's not something you have to watch. I mean, if you've never seen this movie, you're not missing
You're
anything.
not missing anything. You
You're
know what?
not
The only
missing
thing you're
anything.
missing is like you lost an hour and 48 minutes of your time.
Yeah, I mean, because basically it starts off with Howard the Duck on a planet that's like Earth, except they have two moons, and everything has some kind of duck meaning
Yeah,
to it. Like,
I like that
what was
Indiana
it?
Jones reference. That was awesome.
Yeah, what was that called? Well, they had like, what was it, Play Duck or what was that? Yeah, it
Yeah.
was Play Duck, right?
Yep.
Where he's reading a deal, and they have the beer. I can't remember what the name of the beer. Basically, it looks just like Earth.
Yeah,
When
the
the movie
duck
starts off,
version.
you think it's Earth, except for the two moons.
Yep.
And of course, somebody's playing with lasers, and they pull him off his planet through a whole bunch of people's houses, or other
Yes.
duck people's houses, and he lands on Earth in an alleyway.
Yes.
I mean, this movie is really simple too. That's the thing.
It's very
But the funny
simple. Yeah.
thing, the thing is, though, I don't know what would have sold it because when the movie starts off, the first name you see, George Lucas.
Yes, George Lucas. That's how. Yeah.
You see George Lucas. Now he didn't direct this because he never really directs anything. He's just a producer on it.
Yes.
And the duck is actually made by ILM Creature Shop.
Oh, I think the duck, the animation of the duck, like, did they find like a little person or kids to play in the costume?
I
Because
would,
the
they
animation
played,
of
I
the.
would say they had a little actor. I don't know who the little actor would
Oh,
be,
okay.
but I mean, it had to be somebody that was an Ewok. I mean, I don't know who it was. Maybe we
Yes.
should have looked it up because he uses the same people and
Right.
everything. I mean, that's the thing. Back then, George Lucas gave jobs to little people for he had to because you had a
He wanted to
Willow.
bring out that visual. Yeah.
Well, you remember Willow,
Yes, I do.
the little guy. You had
Yes.
R2D2 had a little person, and
That's
all the
right.
Ewoks had a little person. Everything he had little people
It's
in
like,
it. It's
yeah,
like,
like it's like a person. Like even all C3PO is such a skinny thing. Put a skinny guy in there.
yeah, I mean, they did a lot of special. I mean, it's LAM. They're showing off their special effects.
Yeah.
It more with anything was the special effects. Some people claim this is the first Marvel movie made on a comic book. I think that's bull crap. But
1986. It might be when did the Punisher come out? 88, 89.
well, yeah, it'd be the Punisher. Hey, would you rather watch this or Dolph Lundgren's Punisher?
Probably Dolph Lundgren's Punisher.
Actually, I'll go with this. You know why?
Why?
It's shorter. Because it's shorter.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because
You know
Dolph
what?
Lundgren.
I don't remember Dolph Lundgren's Punisher that much. Let me rewatch that and then let me come back to you.
Oh, it is so long. And then the funny thing is, it may not actually be as long as this movie, but it seemed like it was so long. I felt like I was being tortured by the time he got after he gets captured and then he's in the Japanese place. I'm like, oh god, I like Punisher. I love the comic books, but it almost ruined the comic books for me. I almost hated Punisher after that. I was like, so I watch a guy that didn't even have a Punisher symbol on his chest. The whole movie just wore blood clothes. It's like I couldn't even believe Louis Gossett Jr. was in this movie. It was like, why? Why?
This is
How?
what, like, I'm telling you, man. This is like before they know how to make anything interesting, right? It's like the video game we play in the '80s. Like, there's no troubleshoot. There's no one to tell you like, hey, this is a good game or not. I don't care.
Yeah,
That's how I
it is.
feel.
It is. This is. I don't know. I don't. I think they just wanted money, but it just seems weird to have George Lucas on it because George Lucas didn't do other people's work. You
No.
know, he was all their company was always their work. They're very creative. I mean,
So
they created so many stuff.
it
I
makes
don't
me
know.
think like the way that he's doing this, maybe he's doing like what Robert Rodriguez did. Like he would do the kids movies, right? The way that he do his kids movies, like, well, I'm going to test out this technology with green screen with 3D.
Maybe
Then I'm
maybe
going to use
so.
it on something like Sin City,
Well, it's
something
just
that I feel
this is
passionate about.
out of everything that has George Lucas's name on it.
Yeah.
This just doesn't fit into his stuff.
No, no, you're right. Like everything that have George Lucas name in it, this is the oddball.
But maybe he was trying to become something else. Maybe like Spielberg. He just wanted to. They wanted to produce a lot of stuff that would bring in a lot of money because they're probably going to make a lot of Howard the Ducks. I would think that's what they're going to do. And
Ah,
probably Howard the Duck just came out and was popular. Who knows?
and maybe they
I'm.
were trying to go in an anime series or something. Yeah.
But yeah. But the thing is, of course, he crashes the alleyway. He gets taken into a bar, and there's the group playing, and it's Lea Thompson's group called Cherry Bomb,
Cherry Bomb,
which if you watch the Guardians of
Guardians
the
of the
Galaxy
Galaxy.
podcast, that's the thing. And the problem is, here's the neat thing about Guardians of the Galaxy came out 28 years after, exact same date that Howard the Duck came out.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
my God! Is that why they put that post credit
Yes.
scene in there?
Yes, because that was not Howard the Duck was not going to be in the credit scene. Somebody else decided to put that in later, and they thought it was so stupid that they would do it.
Oh,
Because
it
they're
is
going to bring
stupid.
Howard the Duck in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Most people didn't even know who it was. Because
No,
I
I think
remember when
like
we saw
well,
the
I think in
theater.
the post credits scene they show exactly like, after the scene, right? They put Howard the Duck and the
Yeah,
creators.
so you'll know who it is. But I
Yeah.
remember when we saw it at the theater, you could hear some kid go, "Is that Donald Duck?"
Yes. Yeah. No,
Is
I
that
knew it was
Donald Duck?
Howard the Duck because I knew about George Lucas and this, but I never seen it at, even back in Guardians of the Galaxy. I just knew this is Howard the Duck
Yeah, yeah, I
because it
knew
was
it was
owned by
Howard Duck
Marvel.
too.
I knew that because everybody talk how bad like this is. Like everybody says George Lucas, George Lucas. I'm like George Lucas didn't actually direct this movie.
Yeah, but you would think. I guess this has a lot to show you that George Lucas he should have had more control over this movie and he didn't. I don't know. Maybe he liked it. I'm like how.
You know what? I'm saying like the Robert Rodriguez thing. Maybe he's trying to test out some technology with
I
this
would I
movie.
would say they tested out a lot of technology, but you got to think though. You can't say that really in a way because ILM at that time, because this is what 86.
Yeah,
ILM did almost all the special effects for almost every movie made.
yeah,
They just start. I mean, okay, he did Star Wars, right?
yes.
But he also did Star Trek.
And
All the
Indiana
Star Trek
Jones.
movies, he did all the special effects for Star Trek, even though that wasn't his property.
Really? I
Yes.
did not know that.
Oh yes. All the Enterprise is my favorite Enterprise. That one that ILM helped put on the screen. Star Trek 2. He did all the special effects. They were amazing.
Wow. So
He
it's really
did
good
he
with
did he
space
did a
stuff.
lot of movies, but I mean he did all kinds of horror movies. They did Indiana Jones and all those, but of course that is Lucas's property
Yeah.
too. But they've done a lot of work. I mean, Poltergeist. They did special effects for Poltergeist.
Right. And it's also Spielberg too.
Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Rocketeer, I think.
Oh, I can't remember
Had a hand.
Rocketeer, but
They
no,
had
no,
a
you're right.
hand.
Yeah, it's they shows Disney, and then it's the show the ILM.
Yeah, they
Yes.
had a hand in everything. So
You know what I think now since you point out the space thing, right? Because Howard the Duck is from space. So they thought like, hey, who's better to do space special effects? George Lucas.
but you
Who
really
else?
see but you see very little space. Though.
It is. That's the thing. Like you see very little space. It's just the beginning that he's coming from another space, and then towards the end of the movie, which they didn't even
Yeah,
show that much anyway.
yeah. Most of the movie was really quick. That's the
Yes.
thing. I mean, a lot of the movies are chase scenes. This is it's chase scenes, and the chase scenes are boring.
Yeah. Even
Because
the flying thing.
we have a chase scene where he's on an ultralight and he's flying through the air and he's doing all kinds of stunts. And of course, who was the other actor? Tim Robbins.
Tim
Tim Robbins when he was
Robbins.
young. I was like, what? Tim Robbins? I don't know any of the other actors other than the guy that was in
Well, I know
the
the
doc.
detective. I've seen him in other things too.
Yeah, and the detective wasn't really
Not
like
like
what?
well known. Like no, not like Tim Robbins would be the biggest star in that
Yeah,
movie.
exactly. Tim Robbins would be the only biggest star.
And
And
I'm
the
pretty
thing,
sure at that time he wasn't even a huge name yet either.
no, he wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't think he did anything yet. So
Yeah.
Leah Thompson probably was a bigger name than he was.
Right, because she was in Back to the
Oh,
Future.
I also want to point out one of the girls in her band was Holly Robinson Peete.
Who's that? Holly Robinson.
She's actually she was I watched a TV show called Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Oh, I know who that is.
I just that's she's the only one. As soon as I saw her, I knew who she
Oh
was.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I don't
The
know who the other
Vanessa.
band,
She played
yeah
Vanessa.
I don't know who any of the other band members were.
Yeah,
I don't recognize any of them.
I
But
do remember the actress. Yeah, I like
the
her.
sad thing is
She's in
the
a
funny
new
thing
show
is,
that me and my wife watch now. Like
what is it called?
it's called American Housewife.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about now.
Yes, April from. Oh, you never seen Eastbound and Down, the Danny McBride,
I did see Eastbound and Down.
the one that who plays April.
I don't remember April though.
Well, she was really attractive, but you know she has kids and gained weight, right? So she plays a like a fat house mom in a rich
You know
neighborhood.
it's real southern.
No, it's not Southern.
Oh, okay. She
It's
don't
not.
have
It's
that real
called American
southern accent.
Housewife. It's like which part of Connecticut or something.
No, as an actress, have a real
Oh
southern
yeah, yeah, yeah.
accent.
She said yeah. She have a real Southern
I think I
accent.
know who you're talking
Yeah.
about.
She's still very pretty. She's still a very pretty lady.
Yeah, she was in other stuff. So,
Yes. Oh yeah, she's in other stuff, but I
but
only
yeah,
remember her mostly from
but that's the
Eastbound and
thing,
Down.
because the funny thing is, was she takes Howard the Duck home with her after. I mean, come on, it's just like, hey, I found this little duck guy, and he beat these guys up. I'm gonna take him home with me.
And you know what's really funny? Some people found him interesting, and some people are afraid of this dude. Like throughout the whole movie, right?
Yeah,
Like it's
exactly.
like they don't think like, what is this duck guy doing? Is it a costume day or what's going on?
I know, and the thing is, all the jokes are all one-liners that you've heard in anything.
Yeah.
Even if you're seeing, let's put it, I mean, even if you're to watch the movie for the first time way back in 1986, they were cliches that you would have already heard in several other movies. They're just not funny. It's like they're throwing jokes out there, and it's like each one of them is just like, even the people with them, the reactions during the movie is it's like,
Yes.
oh, I can't believe I'm just getting a paycheck for this, you
Yeah,
know?
I don't like what was that? What the one line is like, how do I call a manhunt on a duck? I know, duck hunt.
Yeah,
Just
exactly. It's like the sad
it's
thing is
so lame.
the acting wasn't all that good. A lot of the actors just weren't into it. I
No,
mean,
it's
I
not
see
all
Lea
that. It's very
Thompson.
like hysterical, right? Like
It's
comic
like Lea
book.
Thompson tried to stay serious, but they made her scream constantly. She just
Yeah.
constantly
At
was
the
funny.
end, yeah, like when she was
I
hurt
actually would
by
say
the
the best
Dark Lord.
actor in this movie, the best actor in the movie was the doctor that had to make all the sounds and do all the ridiculous
Yes,
crap,
he's
just
really good.
because he had to do so
Like
ridiculous. I mean,
even Tim
everybody's ridiculous.
Robbins was over the edge or something. Like oh my
Yeah,
god, who acts like
he's
that?
just, oh, he's always nuts. But the whole movie is they had a laser. They bring Howard the Duck here. They figured out how they did it, so they're going to use the laser to send Howard Duck back.
Yep.
Of course, towards the end of the movie, it turns out when they're trying to send Howard the Duck back, they bring out some kind of alien overlord, which I love
Yes.
that word,
Alien
and he gets
Overlord.
inside the body. Which you've seen this before in a
He's like a
hundred movies.
host. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's a host. He's it's like I was fixing to say, he's gonna bust out his chest. I didn't know I'd seen it before,
I
but
was thinking the same
because I
thing.
couldn't remember that. I couldn't remember that.
Yeah.
But I do remember when he spits, there was acid.
Yes.
There's only like a few. That's the thing. It's one of those movies where you can't really remember it, so you just remember.
The pots and yeah, I know what you
Yeah, you
mean.
just remember how it made you feel when you saw it
Yeah.
more than I guess remember because there's so much of this I couldn't remember.
I feel like Shane was torturing me with this.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hold a gun to
but,
your head to make
but
you
you know
watch it.
what? I think this is the is this the only Marvel movie we've seen that's not part of the MCU, but it's Marvel so far? Oh no, we saw Into the Spider Verse.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say that's not part of the MCU.
This is not.
Yeah, this is not part of the MCU, and neither was Spider Verse
Yeah, it
either.
is a Spider Verse.
I mean, they were just separate stories. So, and this is I don't even know if I really call this that Marvel either. I mean, it's Marvel. It was a comic book, but it's not really Marvel like.
It's just they got the rights to do this movie.
Yeah,
It's not
I don't
Marvel
know.
like, kind of like
It's
Dolph Lundgren's The Punisher.
oh, that was all. That was
Same thing as
awful.
the Captain America movie. I mean, like,
Yeah, I'm not gonna see that. I'm not gonna even. I'm not even gonna try that one. I mean, that's gonna be too hard to talk about. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But anyways, this movie. What we get to the end. I mean, this is pretty much. If you've seen an '80s movie, you've seen this movie. I
yes,
mean, it's almost like every '80s movie has the same pace, the same deal. Plus, they got music. Of course, they always got these '80s songs where people are singing. I'm glad that they don't do that in '90s movies. And now movies now, I don't like it. I don't need the singing
so
because they always have a song about the movie they're in. Because this one has at the end of the movie, they singing Howard the Duck.
yes, they sing the
Which is
Howard the
funny.
Duck song.
Here's
I
the
know.
funny thing about that: they gave him a little red guitar. He's got a suit on. I was thinking, is he trying to be Michael J. Fox?
Yeah, Michael J. Fox. I thought about the same thing too.
Because he's doing the same moves
Yep.
as he does in Back to the Future. He even plays the guitar the same.
You know what I thought of? Like, the Howard the Duck, right? Like, one scene carries on to the next one. That's fine. The Rocketeer did that. But this one, it's just not as good.
Yeah, it's just not as good.
It's just like,
But
I
I'm
think they
thinking
try to do something, right? Like,
there's probably tons of '80 movies though that do the
kind of
same.
like this, yeah.
And there's a lot of '80 movies people remember, and I'd like to see some more to see if they're that good. Because I mean, and I think a lot of the other '80 movies are better. It's just I don't know why I thought this was good
Well,
because
because
it
you were a
wasn't.
kid. It kind of
Yeah,
like when I was a kid, right? I watched The Wizard. I thought that was
yeah,
awesome. Now I'm watching it's like, man, this movie is kind of slow and like it doesn't make any sense. You know what
yeah.
did make
But it's
sense?
the thing.
Like they were so helpful, right? Like a scientist, like, oh, I'm just gonna send you back to your planet. No one want to study this duck. No one want to cut this duck apart.
Here's the thing:
Nothing.
is maybe we're being too hard because if we're to compare this about against a lot of things we saw at the time period, is this better or worse?
So let's
Because I
do
mean,
that now. Let's compare. I
'cause
don't remember
there's a lot of movies.
Short
There's a lot of
Circuit.
movies. Short Circuit. That's the thing. I still seen Short Circuit not that long ago. It's still better than this.
Okay.
Have you seen when did you see Short Circuit last?
Uh,
But still, Short Circuit has a lot
before
of shortcomings.
before DVD came out. I don't think I even had that on
Oh
DVD.
man, we're
It's
gonna
been
have
a
to see.
while.
We need to see Short Circuit. The second one's better.
It's been a while
But
since I saw the Goonies.
Yeah, but I'm thinking the Goonies are still going to be. The Goonies will beat this.
Oh, the Goonies will be good. Yeah, I know.
But I still feel like the Goonies has a lot of slow. A lot of the '80s movies they have always have a song about the movie. Because like I said, this one has a Goonies has the Goonies. We're the Goonies. There's a song in it. Back
Yeah.
to the Future has a Back to the Future song. Top Gun, I think there is a Top Gun song.
Well, they have the Highway to the Danger Zone.
Okay, maybe they don't. Yeah, I think it's just how it is. But a lot of the movies from the '80s
You
have a
can't
song.
compare this to Top Gun.
But a lot of the '80s movies always have a song with the title of the movie in it.
Oh, it's just like a marketing thing, right? It feels like.
It is, and I mean, we watched Guardians of the Galaxy. There was not a Guardians of the Galaxy song.
No. You know what? It's also have the second Turtles movie when Vanilla Ice start rapping about the
Yeah.
Turtles.
Oh
Actually,
my
even the
God.
first one, the rap song is about the Ninja Turtles movie.
See, but hey, Ninja Turtles beat this movie. But again, that's '90s.
By
Okay.
a lot. And you know what's really funny? I think the first Turtles movie is also rated PG, but they keep saying the word damn from Raphael.
I kept saying what? Damn.
Damn! Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. But it's no, like, duck boobies, okay?
Yeah. I mean, come on.
That
Who?
hot tub place and Lea Thompson in the underwear with the sexual tension, like, that part was so uncomfortable in a way. Like, how I want to bring this on, right? And then like suddenly he's not comfortable with it. Like, what the heck's going on? Oh,
Well,
and
and,
the
and
other
we
scene
don't
was
have
like
anybody in the audience either.
when Lea Thompson was looking to his wallet, like the little condom.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck is that?
I mean, that thing's gonna dry out.
It is because it's just out of the package. Like, what is this doing out here? Like, it just
You know,
looped
you know,
all over his duck
the sad
money.
thing is we see the scene and the first thing we think is that's gonna dry out.
That's the thing. I'm like, what? How is this possible? Like the duck money. Oh my gosh, it's just so
I know
awkward at times.
I think it was so ridiculous. I mean, I would have understood it if that movie would have been made and aimed at kids. But now watching it again and seeing it's not aimed
Yeah,
at
it's
kids,
not aiming at kids. It's like the kids won't understand the joke. It's kind of like Pixar. Like they put
exactly.
these adult jokes in there, only adults would get.
But exactly. But the thing is, the adult jokes are not even funny.
They're not. They're very lame. Like, oh
They're,
man, come on, they're trying this
they're
right now.
and it may have a lot to do with we've seen so much movies up to this point.
Yes.
I
You
mean,
know
this
what I
movie
seen?
was
Like, because I was in Hong Kong, right? So a lot of movies I saw was action movies.
yes,
And well, Back to the Future is not action, but I still seen it.
yeah. You saw Back to the Future the first time in Hong Kong.
Yep.
Cool. So was it was it subtitle? Was it English or
Yep,
was it?
it's subtitled. We don't watch. I never seen any movie. All the James Bond movie I watch in Hong Kong are all subtitled.
Cool. Subtitle in English.
No, it's Chinese.
Okay, so they're speaking. So you
English.
saw the
No.
movie as you see it here in America, but
Yep.
it has subtitles.
It just have
Okay, so I
subtitles.
thought maybe they dubbed the
No,
language.
I had never watched anything that's dubbed in Chinese.
Wow, that's
Never.
awesome.
It's never done that way.
Huh, that's cool.
But it's different from when they make movies from America, they dub all over, and I'm like, well, I see why none of the Chinese people did this. It's so bad. Yeah, I watch everything in English. Like that's why it's easy to pick up cuss words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially in Stallone and Arnold movies. Like I seen all the '80s action movies, even though I never spoke English. That's why that's joke. Like when I come here, right? Then like, oh my god, Arnold's awesome. Like then you realize like, oh, this guy doesn't speak English either. Stallone, he's born in New York, but he has that muscle thing in his cheek. That's why
Yeah.
he speaks like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. But that's
He could punch. He could punch too. I mean,
he
come
can
on.
punch too, but I wouldn't make fun of those two.
I mean, come on. Because Stallone will kick you. And Stallone's awesome though.
I can see why they would never release this in Hong Kong because I can see this is not marketable. But action, Back to the Future is very marketable. Like this,
Yeah. Well, this is
like
not very
I
much
seen
at all.
Goonies I seen Goonies before I came to the States.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, everything on VHS, man. Like whatever my cousin get their hands on, I will watch it. Cause that's when I like American movies a lot.
Yeah.
Before I even spoke English, I
A lot
love
of people
American
like American-
movies.
A lot of people like American movies.
Yeah, it just like you could tell it's higher production.
I mean, and people are saying all Chinese movies are starting to get higher production stuff. I'm like, cool. And they go, oh, they got bigger box sets. And I'm like, cool. And I'm like, but you can't show in America because we don't give a crap.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, okay, they
Come
might
on.
be better. Like, you know what a lot of Hong Kong movies have? They don't base anything on books.
Yeah, well, they don't base on. Well, I notice a lot of the Chinese box office movies are about life. You know, they're about somebody going to see their girlfriend or somebody breaking up. I mean, it's about life. I'm like, look at Hollywood movies. Ours are about superheroes. I mean, that's what
But
I
yeah,
want to
not
see.
right now. Yeah, it's just
I
the
mean,
drama.
if I want a movie about a girlfriend, I'll just go get a girlfriend
Well,
and experience it. I don't want to watch
like I think
somebody.
one of the best Hong Kong movies is that's the one that we made here, The Departed. That was a very
Yeah,
original idea.
that was awesome.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's like
Marvel is really good.
it's not shot for shot, right? But the whole story is the same thing from Hong Kong.
Yeah, but do you think The Departed is better than the Hong Kong version?
If I make it 1-to-1, I would say it's the same. There's a lot of cussing that I don't think is needed
Okay,
in the
yeah,
Departed. Like there's racism in there. Like the Hong Kong people doesn't have anything like that, like a racism thing, because
yeah,
everybody's Chinese anyway. But what fell off for me is the Departed for Hong Kong people. They have sequels.
okay,
They explain
yeah,
like Leo DiCaprio's character before he got to The Departed. They go into that more, and then they bring on another character investigating uh, Matt Damon's character. Where in
yeah.
Departed, they
Well,
kills him at the end.
I'd say because of the cussing though. I'd say because how Hong Kong y'all don't just cuss a lot there.
No, we don't. It's rated like
Yeah,
it's rated like the NC-17 immediately. We
exactly.
don't
Well,
say a
that's the
lot of
thing
cuss
though. I
words.
mean, in Hong Kong culture, let's say me and you hanging, kicking it in Hong Kong, we wouldn't sit around and just cuss all day.
No, we don't. There's
Right.
nobody talks like
But
that.
see, the movie's set in Boston.
Yeah, that's
Me
how
and you
people
was
talk.
kicking.
Yeah.
If me and you was kicking it in Boston, we'd sit around cussing all day.
See, that's the thing. Like in Terminator 2 is a rated R movie, right?
Yeah.
Terminator 2 in Hong Kong won't be rated R because like violence is not as bad as cussing. I swear, I seen some TV action like movies, like not movies, TV drama shows, right? They have a bank robbery.
Yeah.
It might not be as bad as Terminator 2, right? But it will never be rated PG-13 here. Because I feel
Yeah.
like violence is part of real life, right? That stuff can happen. But
That's
cussing,
the
that's a
funny
big
thing.
no-no.
That's the funny thing though. Violence is not a big deal. Yeah, it's funny. Violence is not a big deal, and cussing is a big deal here.
No, cussing, yeah.
But in Europe, here, it's sex is a big deal, and
Yes.
violence is okay. But in Europe,
It's
violence
not.
is not okay.
Yeah, violence,
Sex
okay,
is
yeah.
all right.
Sex is okay.
It's just the cultures.
It's the culture, yeah. It's just what you
Hmm.
believe in a way, you know?
Yeah, I mean, so we're violent people.
Just kind of like this movie. This is rated PG. I still can't get over it. I had to look several times. Like,
I don't
this is
understand why you
PG,
take it
right?
over because I mean, I'm watching it. I could see this being PG easily. But again,
Really?
I grew up with PG movies. Is the only thing I could watch for most of the first of
Yeah,
half
you're
of them.
right. Because, you know, when my
My
parents didn't
parents
speak
were real
English, I
strict.
watched the Robocop. You should not
Yeah,
watch the Robocop when you're 7 or
yes,
6.
I couldn't watch RoboCop. Because I didn't get to watch RoboCop till I moved out.
I watched Cobra. You're not supposed to watch Cobra when you were
Well,
5 or 6.
I kind of saw Cobra because I got to stand behind my dad while he's watching.
You know what? I never watched that. I would want to watch. I want to watch Roadhouse.
I'd never watched Roadhouse.
You know why I want to watch Roadhouse? Because young Sheldon talks about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Roadhouse. I mean, a lot of people watch it. It's just not something I've ever go. Hey, I would like to see Roadhouse.
Yeah, I mean
No,
the story sounds pretty good, like back in '80s, right? Like, oh, okay, you know. But I want to watch. Is it? No, it's not Kurt Russell. Is it? Is it Patrick Swayze? Or sometimes
it's
I get those
Patrick
two.
Swayze.
It's Patrick Swayze.
Patrick
Yes.
Swayze. But let me put it this way: if Sheldon's talking about it, it's because Patrick Swayze. He's Texas.
Oh, it's not Sheldon. It's his mom, because you know his mom is a very
Oh,
religious woman, and
so she's also a Texas.
that's her guilty pleasure.
She's a very religious Texas woman.
Yes, and she watches Roadhouse.
Yeah, because it's got
It's,
Patrick Swayze
you got Patrick Swayze. That's right.
from Texas.
Yes.
Have you not figured out that if you're from Texas and there's Texas actors in it, you got to watch it. That's the
Is
law.
Patrick Swayze from Texas? I didn't know that.
Yeah, pretty sure
Oh,
he
that's
is.
cool.
Patrick Swayze is from Texas. That's why everybody watched Red Dawn when it came out. I mean, if you're from Texas, you ain't watched Red Dawn, you got a problem.
I don't think I ever watched Red Dawn. Either one
But
of
you're
them.
not from Texas anyway.
Yeah, I'm not from
You need
Texas.
to watch Red Dawn. It's still good. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, I believe it's good. Yeah.
Don't watch the second one now.
Well, with Thor.
Yeah, I haven't even seen it. I don't think I want to. I mean, come
Well,
on. North Korea attacking the United States? Nah.
but
Russia. That's the funny thing, though. I mean, the first one was back when Russia would attack. We
yeah,
were enemies. I mean, that could have happened.
But it was
I
when
mean,
it was
now you
still
watch it.
Soviet Union, yeah.
Now you watch it now by the movie. You're like, that couldn't have happened. But when you were a kid,
When
that
you're a
could have
kid, yeah,
happened.
it was very believable, even for adults. I remember like the attorneys talked about it when we worked at a law firm. It was like they were scared.
Yeah, it was a big deal
Yeah, it
back
was a big
then.
deal.
It was, seems like people have forgotten about it now.
Yeah, I know. Communism, man.
But yeah, that was it. That was Howard the Duck. I mean, pretty much it was chases, somebody blowing up a room. Oh, plus it had the rednecks. You always got to have the rednecks in 80s
Yes,
movies. The three
like at
rednecks
the
that kind of,
diner.
yeah, they just show up out of nowhere. I mean, everybody's not a redneck, and then three rednecks just pop up. Got to tell country. And here's the problem: is they weren't really good rednecks because they didn't end up with a gun. Not one of them had a gun until the very end before they get killed. I'm like, real rednecks have guns when they start.
Hey, man, I told you this movie is PG, okay?
Oh yeah, I forgot. So
There's so many things this movie is so stupid. Like when the Howard and
I mean,
Valerie, right? What's her name? Brittany? I can't remember now. Leah
oh,
Thompson's character's name.
I forgot what her name was. We'll just
Yeah,
call her Leah.
Leah. Okay, so they were hiding behind this cannon under the stairs. Right when the cops got their plane and they walked by, how did they not see them? Like that's those stuff bothers me. But it was back in the '80s, right? So it was okay.
Yeah. Hey, but
Yeah.
I did want to ask you. Okay, we see the monster at the end.
Yeah.
The monster was actually pretty good, except for one flaw:
What?
the coloring. Remember,
Oh.
when it shows the background; it's in real good coloring. But the monster, the stop motion animation was really good,
Yes.
except his coloring was wrong. You could see that he was put
Oh.
over the film or
Yeah.
under the film, and we see that in a lot of
You
movies.
see that a lot. You even see that with that doctor guy, like the scientist guy, when he's doing like those electric or special effects. The color's a little bit off.
Yeah, but I still think the color looked better on him than when we showed the monster. The
Did him
monster would
showing
have
the
been
monster,
good
yeah.
if they could just have figured out how to color the monster correctly. Because I mean, we saw it in Star Wars. Some of the stuff in Star Wars is off color,
Yes.
but the
Yeah,
movie
you could
was
tell in the special effects
but the
part. I
movie
guess
was
in a
cool,
way.
so you didn't really question it.
No.
But the movie
There was
wasn't that
nothing else to
good.
compare it to if you think about it. Like right now,
Yeah,
today, like they make the color correction correct, and that's why we accept this reality.
but I
And
can
now
see
when we
where.
watch this, right, it's like, oh man, this is when they did the special effects deal.
But I guess now that we're talking about it, I could see how if you read the Howard script movie, maybe it seemed like it was a good thing first read through.
I love that. You remember when we were making a movie,
Yeah,
with the inside job, and I think it was either Eric or Nick. Nick asked me like, "Hey, what's your favorite movie?" And I told him like Fight Club. So he tells me like, "Do you think if you read Fight Club as a movie script, it would be as good as we're seeing it?"
I don't know. Yeah, well, sometimes I think they are in a way. Okay, I'm gonna say this because, all right, Pulp Fiction. I got the Pulp Fiction script before I
Hmm.
saw the movie. I don't remember why I ended up with it. That's back when me and you were making movies. Well, it was actually earlier than that. It was back when I was school, and I thought I wanted to make movies. So I
Yeah.
bought some books with scripts in it, and I got the Pulp Fiction one. I read it, and I still think the Pulp Fiction script is better than the movie.
Okay, so when you read the script, does the script kind of like it does in the movie, or was it like an
Yes,
editing
it's pretty
thing?
much the same. It's almost the movie word for word.
No,
I
not
mean,
for
there's
novel, but like, but the scenes like they do the back and forth thing between different scenes. Is that like that in the script?
yes, yes, it's pretty much the same movie, but
See,
for some reason, the script in a way is almost better, and it may be because of how I pictured it.
I was gonna point out it's probably how you imagined it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's good. I mean, I love Pulp Fiction,
So
but
I see the point you might be trying to make, like maybe when Lucas or the director read this, right? They
yeah,
envision it
well,
differently.
because sometimes when you read something like a joke, it's funnier than when you hear somebody tell it.
Yes.
Then you're like, no,
Yeah.
because I mean, when you're reading the script, I could see some of these lines seeming funny when they're reading it, but when we see them act it out,
Also, the delivery might be different.
yeah. And I'm going to blame. I don't mean some of it has to be on the director.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and the problem is he didn't go, oh, well, this is not working. Let's do something else. But this is also before people did a lot of ad libs. Remember,
Yes.
nowadays people ad lib a lot of stuff. If something doesn't work, they drop it.
You're right.
Old movies
So
they stick to the script.
on the Ablet thing, they do it exclusively for the only two people I know is Bill Murray, obviously. That you hire him because he ad libs a lot, right? Bill Murray just basically read a script like, okay, I get the gist of what's happening, but he never like says his line as it's written. He say it like Bill Murray's way. In Jim Carrey scripts, a lot of time they put this is what they put down for Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, though. You got
That's
to
why
think
you
that's,
hire them.
but that's in the '80s. I mean, nowadays almost all actors ad lib. They
Yeah.
all because like when we watched Guardians of the Galaxy,
Oh,
the
Chris
people who did
Pratt.
Rocket Captain, they ad libbed a lot of
Yeah.
lines. So that's how they got funnier stuff. I
Yeah, I
mean,
figured that.
everything like anything that Will Ferrell does, he'll
Oh
make
yeah.
100,000 lines for it,
Yeah.
and then they'll just take what works.
And you're right. They take what works, right? The other thing I remember is Bad Boys. When you put Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, right? I'm pretty sure the people who wrote this movie, they're not gonna know how they talk. It's when they act in a scene
Yeah.
together, right? They know what they're gonna say and they
Oh,
bounce off each other.
yeah, yeah, exactly. They bounced off each other. They worked together and they made it.
Yeah.
I mean, they created some characters right there. I mean, they probably had a general outline, get in the car, but then Will Smith say, "Hey, I'm gonna say something
Yeah, I'm
stupid."
gonna say something different because I know how like I would like to see Martin's reaction to what I'm gonna say.
Exactly.
Yeah. Look,
And
you're right.
and
Like I would never thought about that. So when I was reading the production for Howard the Duck, right? Because I was like, man, I can't believe I'm watching this. So I was reading it. They envisioned this as a anime, like a cartoon instead of
okay.
like a live action.
And that's the thing. A lot of stuff may have been okay. They may have went through special effects so much. They probably put more work in special effects than they did. You know that they had time issues, so they couldn't sit there and ad lib and add better
You
stuff.
know what? I bet you if we look online, there's probably like a cult following for this movie. Like there's gotta be somebody out there, right, that loves Howard the Duck.
I don't
Loves
know.
Howard the Duck.
I'm not it. Okay, let's just put it this way: if there's anybody out there that likes Howard the Duck, it's because they haven't seen it since it came out.
It's,
I really, really believe it. I mean, because like you said, I liked it up until I watched it, and then I'm like,
this movie
I can't
sucks.
believe I told. When I was watching it, and I was like, I can't believe I told Lamb to just watch it. I almost text you that says, "Hey,
Don't
let's
watch
don't."
it.
I almost did. I almost
No.
actually.
Once I get started, I can't stop. I
I
can't.
know, but the thing is, I almost texted you earlier this week to tell you let's don't do this.
You know what's the other '80s movie that I really love as a kid? Ernest. Those Ernest movies.
Oh yes, but I
Like
wonder if they're good. I wonder if we'd like them now
I
because
don't
I haven't
know.
seen them since then.
Yeah, I haven't seen them since then.
Because they're gonna be really stupid now.
Yeah, it's probably very stupid. I remember loving them as a kid. Like, would you say the same thing about Three Stooges? I love them as a kid.
I don't know about three. They're still. I laugh a little bit when I watch them, but they are kind of boring too.
Yeah, it's just
I
a
mean,
lot of slapstick.
some of the jokes are just not funny anymore because
No.
it's like I've seen that several thousand times, even though they may have originated it.
You,
So yeah, they're kind of in the middle.
you know what I watched recently? Well, I haven't watched it recently, right? Like when I'm like, cleaning up my office here, I put on Married with Children. I started from the first
I
season.
think I still like that. I still like
I
that.
do because some of the stuff that Al says, I'm like, man, I don't think you can say this at this time now. You will never be able to make some of the joke that Al Bundy says during this time. It'd be very offensive.
I don't. Yeah, the problem is it's when people quit making those jokes. It's when they get offensive.
Yeah, you know what's the closest thing I ever seen to like those Al Bundy jokes is the George Lopez show.
Yeah.
When he make fun of his mother, those are like, man, if you say that in real life, right? People are looking at you like, man, what the hell's the matter with you? Why you talk to your mother like
But
that?
maybe that's the problem with their planet. Yeah. I mean, come on. We got so many offended people, but you can't really offend anybody. So I'm like, why do we have offended people if we can't say anything that's offensive?
Yeah,
So I'm like, to make the offended people happy, we should be more offensive.
just
That
to
way we
feel
could
their
balance.
quota.
That way we could balance it out.
Oh my God, just to feel their quota. Hey, you know what I wanted to piss you off today? I don't know.
Yeah. I'm like, I mean, the way I see it is like, you're going to be pissed off anyway, so why don't I give you a reason?
Hey, you make me think of something when you say like when you read something and when that joke is acted out, it remind me of like I don't know if you heard this joke or seen this joke. I think it was when Blade Runner 2049 came out. It starred Ryan Gosling, right? So
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds treated this thing. He wrote this as a joke. He said like, hey, I asked my wife today, hey, who's better looking, me or Ryan Reynolds? I mean, me or Ryan Gosling? So she said me. The great thing is that she answered, I'm better looking, right? But the bad news is that I'm married to a liar. So you know what I did? I just changed it to my perspective.
Yeah.
Like me or
Well,
Ryan Reynolds. Like who's better? I asked
exactly.
Heather, who's better looking, me or Ryan Reynolds? She
But don't
said
they say
me.
comedy's about timing anyways?
It is time. It's very much timing.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Over rehearsed jokes just aren't going to be funny.
No, it's not. It's just I had to tell it one time, you know.
But yeah, I mean, the problem is the Howard Duck movie. It's not that awful. It's just a really simple movie, and it's like anything else that you've ever seen. It's just in the middle of the road. I mean, it's nothing original. I mean, I
No,
know it has a duck acting like a person, but by this time, it's just not original.
no, like he's just acting like the person, and like Howard the Duck. Everywhere he goes, he just accept
Yeah,
people to accept the fact that he's a duck, and them just walking
yeah,
around.
exactly. There's nothing extra to it. I mean,
No, he never trying to hide himself. Oh, they trying to hide him in a garbage bag full of hose.
yeah,
That was pretty
it's a
messed up.
very short gag.
Imagine
Yeah,
if you saw a lady, right, carrying this thing that's moving around with a whole bunch of hose and it's talking out of the bag, you'd be like kind of freaked out.
yeah. Well, of course, a lot of people try to help her with it, and that's.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it
the joke they're trying to
it
tell.
tried to be something, but they did. I don't feel like whoever made the movie tried hard enough to make it
Good.
work.
Oh, work. Okay.
Yeah, make it work.
Both work or
I'm
good.
thinking, they got their scene, next scene. They got their scene, next scene,
Yep.
and then they edited it really quick and said, let's see if it makes any money. They didn't once go, hey, let's see if we can make people enjoy this.
Yeah.
And like you said, it could be a cult. I really just don't think it will have a cult following.
You know, I'm gonna. You know what? Because of that, I'm gonna look up on my phone right now. I'm gonna put I love Howard the Duck movie. I love.
Oh, I hope you better not, because you might get something that you don't want to hear.
You can't go back from this now. Let's see.
You can go back from there now.
There's a YouTube video. You put awfully good movies. Really?
Is there any? Does it tell you a psychiatrist you should see?
Howard the Duck deserves another chance. Whatever. That was back in 2018.
Well, I'm going to say it
They
doesn't.
do put the Howard the Duck is the first Marvel movie.
Okay.
It's
Well, I thought
gotta be right.
what was it there Captain? Oh, that was 90s.
1990.
Yeah, because everything else was a TV show.
Yeah, everything was a TV show. That's right. Because like
I guess
Fantastic Four was a TV show that was never released.
yeah, I guess I'll let them have it.
1944. List of films based on Marvel Comics. Live
Because
action.
everything else would have been a serial.
That was a Captain America film in 1944.
Yeah, but isn't it a serial? Wasn't it more of a
Yeah, it's a
serial?
serial film. Yeah. So it's a 15 chapter. So that's something like how, and then it's
Yeah,
the Howard the Duck.
yeah.
The
I want
Punisher
that.
came out in '89. I remember watching that. Like I remember renting the videotape.
Oh, I remember. I was so happy when I saw that,
Yeah.
and then I was so disappointed after
Oh, so
I
the Fantastic Four movie came out in '94. It's unreleased.
yeah, and
You
I
know
still
what? I
haven't
think
seen
the
it.
I'm looking at this list right now. After the 1904, right? 89, 98 with Blade.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, 98 with Blade. Finally. And then X-Men came out in 2000.
and I was still disappointed.
Yeah, because the second Blade movie was rated PG-13. I remember that. The first one was good. I like Blade.
Yeah, now we're gonna get another Blades.
Yep. Hopefully it's Disney. Like you said, they haven't disappointed us yet. I mean, like, we're not disappointed. Like, we like everything they've done so far.
Yeah, I've been happy with everything. It's just, I mean, maybe they could do Howard Duck. It may be awesome.
I don't know.
Yes,
May-
yes, they could. Let's say, okay, the guy that directed the last Thor movie.
Oh, okay.
What if he
Thor
did it?
Ragnarok. Yeah.
Yes, I bet he could. I bet he could pull it off.
Oh. Oh, James Gunn?
James Gunn might could, but my bet would be more on what's his name,
Yeah,
Walkie.
Wakili. Yeah, I can't pronounce. I don't want to butcher it because I like him so much.
Yeah,
He's
I
such
like the
a.
guy.
Oh,
That's just, I don't want people be yelling at me.
yeah,
You
I like him a lot because he even voiced the Krog guy, right? Like
Yes,
that
yes,
rock
he
guy.
did.
Yeah.
This guy is funny. This guy is funny.
Yeah.
This guy could do he could voice Howard Duck if he wanted.
Yeah, he
But
could.
no, but I think he knows who to go to. I mean, everything works.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, because it's Thor. You could have ruined the Thor movie really easy.
He could, and he's the one who got Natalie Portman back.
Yes. Well, he makes a lot of good stuff. Come on, he made Jojo Rabbit. Haven't
Oh,
seen
I
it,
haven't seen Jojo
but
Rabbit.
I heard it was awesome.
I heard it was good too. I forgot about Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, everybody I've heard if you say the guy, you say Thor, first thing you hear, did you
It's
see
Jojo
Jojo
Rabbit.
Rabbit?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, but I need to because apparently it's mostly awesome.
Yeah, I need to see Jojo Rabbit. It's probably a very good film.
So yes, this guy knows what he's doing.
He does.
I
And I
mean,
mean,
'cause
I don't even know his resume before this.
I don't either, but I mean, I just like his stuff. I mean, I think because me that the Thor he made was very comic book ish.
Yes. No, I
Thor
agree.
Ragnarok was almost like watching a moving comic book.
So not only that, right? It also ties into the comedy thing with the Guardians of the Galaxy really well. Like I could
Yeah,
see it, like with the coloring and the how Thor looks in the Ragnarok. Yep.
yeah. I mean, and he seemed to he hit it right. So
Yeah.
he's got the comedy down thing, and I think maybe he could work with he could work with the other directors like James Gunn and stuff.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know that I want to see a Howard the Duck, but I'm thinking
So
if it
if
comes
if there's
along,
a remake, you would like someone that's
we'll,
already in the
we'll have to
Marvel
do it.
universe.
And I mean, it's just I think it has a lot to do with the take they did on this movie because I mean, the Howard the Duck movie really didn't have much to it.
No, I mean I didn't see anything that's
Yeah,
outstanding
like
except
I
the
said,
costume.
he shows up on Earth, he goes to her place, he meets her, he goes to the doctor, and then he goes home. Tries to go home,
I was
and
trying to go
then
home, but he has to stay. Yeah.
yeah, he has one giant chase, another giant fight, another giant fight. We're like, oh my god, do a montage and get rid of the '80s music. Oh yeah, and then I was upset there was no.
Hey, don't make fun of the '80s music, right? All right, because you remember the Karate Kid came out during this time, and I loved that montage.
Oh
And no,
god.
the other montage I liked was Rocky Four.
Okay, good. Just like
Yes,
to say, the music from Karate Kid, I love the Karate Kid, but it's still horrible
and
when it's
that's
got
also
a
a
theme.
montage in Commando.
Is it really
Yeah,
with
when he
music?
was getting ready,
Actually,
right?
all right, that's stupid that I even asked it because let me put it this way: there's a montage almost in every
In
movie
the
they've
movie,
made.
'80s movie, that was a popular thing back
No,
then.
they made it in all '90s movies. Let me put it away: the crappier a movie is, the longer the montage.
Yes,
Because you know why the guy's editing is like, this is crap. I can't do with any of this.
I
I'm gonna
had to tell the story
you know what he
somehow,
says?
so I'm going to do it.
I'm gonna call Peter Santera up, and we're just gonna cut all these scenes all together once a week. I mean, come on.
Howard the Duck sucks. You know what? I was like, it came out '86, right? I guess towards the ends of it, like one of my favorite movies on the during the '80s time is Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I love it. Yeah, and we need to do that one.
Dude, that movie still holds up today, man.
I haven't seen it since the '80s.
I
I
saw it.
mean,
Oh,
since
I
the
saw it
70s.
last year, right before.
Okay, well, I
Right
haven't
before
seen
that.
it. I have not seen it since I saw it there.
It's great.
So,
It's.
and it came on TV. So I probably only saw it maybe 3 times.
And you know what I was thinking? The only other movie I've seen to date the way they put like live animation with humans, like live action, is
Cool
the new
World.
Tom and Jerry movie.
Oh, okay. Because remember Cool World?
Cool was
I think.
1991, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I seen that one. That movie was not that great that I remember. With Gabriel, somebody, and Brad Pitt
Yeah, I don't think it was
and
all that
Kim
good either.
Basinger.
Yeah, I don't think it was all that good even then.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. I kind of remember what it was.
I kind of remember
The
thinking,
tune
oh, this
well.
is cool, and it wasn't that great.
Yeah, yeah, it's not that great.
Because I remember after seeing that they had a movie with Brad Pitt, I was like, yeah, I don't want to see that. It's not Cool World.
I do remember that. I remember the advertising on the back of comic books, like the poster. Yeah, that's what I remember. But I remember seeing it when I had HBO in first time living in Texas. But yeah, was another good. I don't want to compare another '80s movies with this because all the
Hey,
'80s movie
I
I
got
watch
one
is
for you.
awesome.
I got one for you. Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Okay, so I don't know. Oh, that's right. I don't know Rocky and Bullwinkle that well.
Oh, it's a cartoon. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that good. I guess people that grew up watching the cartoon liked it. I didn't really like it.
I mean, the live action has Robert De Niro, right? I remember.
I can't remember who it had.
And Danny DeVito, I want to say. I can't remember.
I had Danny DeVito and some woman.
I'm gonna look it up right now. Rocky and Bullwinkle movie. I remember it was in the 90s, right?
It was, yeah, they shouldn't have done it.
Rocky and Bullwinkle film.
He
Here we
was
go.
flying a squirrel.
In 2000. Oh my god. Also, it's De Niro, Rene Russo. Jason Alexander.
Didn't Sonic the Hedgehog have a live action with?
Yeah, that's actually pretty good with James Marsden. That's a good movie. The new Sonic the Hedgehog.
I thought it was Jim Carrey.
Oh, it has Jim Carrey too. So it has
Okay.
Cyclops and it has Jim Carrey.
Okay, good.
It has Stars and Stripes and Cyclops. So let me tell you this. By this time, I think Jim Carrey was already 50, 52. You couldn't tell that he's 52. Because they had this dance scene, right? It's like a montage. It's just so kind of stupid. But Sonic the Hedgehog, right, is really good. It's a popular video games from the really early 90s when Sonic came out.
Yeah, yeah.
And I never seen the Super Mario Brothers movie, but I know it sucked because everybody told me it sucks.
I saw the TV show and
Oh, the TV show sucked too. I seen that one too. Like after school, like you get home from after school, right?
Exactly.
And you watch this show, like it's so stupid.
Hey, but I sat there and watched it anyway.
Yeah, it's just because like, you're like a Mario fan, right? That's why you went to see the Bob Hoskins Mario Brothers movie. I never seen it.
I think Zorro came on next, so I was waiting.
Oh, okay. So, but this Sonic movie, like, there's memes out there, like, okay, kids today get this Sonic movie, right? It looks exactly like Sonic from the video game. After, they did that really bad thing, they changed it all up, and then they show the Goombas from our Mario movie. It looked like a little dinosaur head wearing a big old suit. Like, how do you compare? The Sonic movie was really good. Like, it just really works in really well. And they're shooting the second one now.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know much about Sonic because back then I only had a Nintendo. I didn't have a Sega.
Exactly. Well, that's same here. Yeah. I didn't do Sega, so I didn't play Sonic.
So like back then when have you ever watched?
With a few Sonic games because of Xbox puts them on there now.
Yeah, because Sega became a software company. Yeah, I'm just not into it because I think it was too late. I think if I started when I was young, then it would be different.
Yeah, and I think the same thing.
Like back then for the console wars, right? Now that I look back on it, it was so stupid. I only stood on Nintendo side because I only had Nintendo. So these two YouTubers, this guy on YouTube, right? I think he's called Console Wars. They're from New Jersey, okay? But yeah, Console Wars. So
yeah, I think you sent me that.
Yeah, so one of them was really good.
Because I started off and I was like, this sucks.
So I watch it because I only watch it for the game footage to see which one is better, okay? When they explain, when they're trying to be funny, I'm not really all for that. Like, it's
what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not that good. But on some of the games, right, and I'm thinking like, oh my god, the Sega Genesis did have the better version. Because before I was like, I always thought Super Nintendo was superior. But how he does it, right? They talk about gameplay, controls, and all that kind of stuff. Like they weigh them on a scale. But when they're trying to be funny, right, the comedy timing is not really there. But the way they talk about the game it is. Like there's so many games that like, oh man, the games I missed out on because I didn't have a Sega Genesis.
I remember playing a Sega when the first Nintendo came out. And there was Sega, and I played it like at Montgomery Ward's, which doesn't exist anymore.
Oh my god, I know that store.
The Sega was better. I mean, even when I remember, but the problem is, I could barely get a Nintendo.
Yeah.
And it was easier. And if you went to the store to rent games, they didn't have Sega games there.
No.
I never saw Sega games.
It was very exclusive.
Exactly. Sega was. That's what killed Sega to me. It was too expensive. It's too hard to get. And your friends, they put us for your friends. None of my friends had a Sega.
No, everybody else had a Nintendo.
Yeah, and you borrow games from each other to play games.
Exactly.
So if you had a Sega system, you're out of luck because you couldn't go rent games and your friends didn't have them. And I mean, basically, everybody had a Nintendo. So if you were going to get a game system to hang out with people, you got to get a
Nintendo. Yeah, everybody got a Nintendo.
So that was the problem with Sega. But Sega, honestly, Sega was always better, really.
Yeah, Sega's better, like, graphic-wise and everything. Yeah, I noticed that now, too.
When the Sega Genesis came out, my cousin got one. Oh, the games were fun. You could do more things in a game.
You can. You know why? Because Nintendo's more like kid-oriented.
exactly. I mean, yeah, Nintendo, you just go through a scrolling screen. This guy, you can get out, shoot, do a shooter, get in a car, drive, get out. I was like, it was amazing when I first saw it.
Yes.
But I mean, it's like he also paid a lot for the
The
system.
colors, even not the Sega Genesis, the first one, the Sega Master System, that's even more rare than the Genesis, right?
Yes.
Like, oh my god, like I start playing some of the old games on my whatever. I'm starting May on Saturdays. I'm showing one Sega Master System game every Saturday. Cause like I was like playing this like, oh my god, I can't believe I missed this out as I was a kid, cause no one had a Sega
A
Master
lot of
System.
things. I mean, even way back during the Atari time. Remember like the ColecoVision and stuff?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I remember my cousins had a game. I don't even know what the system was. If it was a Coleco or not, you'd put a little card in the controller and push buttons. The games were more fun and they looked a little bit better than the Atari. The Atari was a big giant, just few colors was blocks. And at the time I'm playing that, they got this system where you got this little fish and you're swimming around with little dolphins. I was like, what? How's this
Wow.
better? It's a better system.
It is. Yeah, I highly agree. It's
It's a
like a
better
better
system.
system.
And I mean, it may have been because my system was by the time I could get one, because they cost so much back then. By the time I was able to get one, they've already came out with these newer, better systems. But
That's why it was that time that you can get one because by that time it was cheaper.
yeah, well, it's like Atari. I mean, the Nintendo NES. I mean, I played it way after people had Super Nintendo. I couldn't afford one. I mean,
Oh, me too. I didn't afford one
so
either.
I was like, whatever. People were like, oh, Super Nintendo. I was like, whatever. I don't like the Super Nintendo. I don't want to play Super Nintendo.
Yeah. But then I would like. I think one of my favorite systems is still the Super Nintendo. You
Well,
know why?
I mean, eventually it got cheaper. It was easier just for me to
You know that was before I met you.
start
So
playing
I
PC.
got a Super Nintendo, right? And
Yeah,
Hong
well, it was
Kong
easier
put like
for
a
me
lot.
just to play PC games, you know.
Well, not PC. Like so, when I got the Super Nintendo, right? The reason I like that system so much better, by that time I have access to more games. So Hong Kong, right? Like how Super Nintendo is a top loader. They made a disk drive system for it, where you could copy the games onto floppy disk.
Whoa,
You didn't know that? So Cody still had that. Cody still had that at home.
really?
Um,
No, I didn't know this
so
existed.
mine
This
was
is
called a
awesome.
game. So
Wait. But okay, when you say floppy disk, are you talking about the little 3 by, or are
three
you
and a
talking
half
about the
floppy
big?
disks.
Are you talking about the 5 by?
No, not the five one, not the really thin ones. The
Okay,
3.5 floppy disks.
okay, 3 half by that time. Okay.
Yep. So what happens is like you could tell like if it's like 8 megabyte game, it fit on one disk. If it's like 16, like Street Fighter 2, it would fit on two. Like games like Final Fantasy 7, you need 3 floppy disks. So what we did, like, so I got that technology right, and you could copy the games on your floppy disk yourself. So what I would do, I would go to Blockbuster, rent the game, and I'll have it forever. All I have to do is buy floppy disk.
Yeah, and I have tons of floppy disks still,
Yeah,
even though I don't have a drive for
I know. I like my digital camera back here.
it. It's like those 5 by floppy drips.
Oh,
I
those.
got Indiana Jones. I got. I mean, I got all kinds of games, but I don't have a system that I could even put those discs in.
Yeah, like it.
Because you can only play on like a Commodore
I remember
64.
those five and a quarter, right? Five point two
Yeah,
five disc. You
yeah,
had to
those
put
really.
that in there. Then you have to put a lock on it, like that little lever
Yeah,
comes down.
exactly. You had to put the little lever down. And yeah, had some good games, you know. I remember because that's the thing. When a Commodore 64 came out, my grandma got it, which is weird because I thought my grandma has this.
Wow.
But I go to my grandma's house. All my cousins did go there just to play the games on there, and because the games were still better than what you could play on Nintendo.
Yeah, it's just a computer. Still to this day, the computer graphics are better.
Yeah, it's just the games had more to,
Yep,
you know. I mean,
I
because I
agree.
mean, a side scroller's neat, but the problem is after a while you can get tired of a scroller.
Yeah, that's
You
what most
know,
of the '80s games were scrollers.
yeah, almost all of them were scrollers. I mean, come on, Gunsmoke. I like Gunsmoke, but you go up the screen the whole time.
Yep, it's
So,
really rare.
I mean, it's almost everything on Nintendo was a side scroller. Right.
You
When I
know,
finally got to play Xbox games, I was like, oh, this
you know
is
what's really
amazing.
funny? I think that's one of the reasons why I like the Kid Icarus game so much. Because it wasn't a sky scroll. It's vertical scroller.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's still a scroller.
I mean, like how many like what's that game I play on my other channel, Tim Gamer, the 3D World Runner.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That's cool. I liked they had strategy games on the ES. You
Yeah,
know, like there were board games. I liked those. Those were good.
yeah. I just never play any games like that. Man, we totally lost track of talking about Howard the Duck.
Oh,
Because
is that what we were talking about?
well, it's because we brought about Sonic, like
It's
the
because we moved
animation
on. It's
stuff,
because we moved on like the rest of the world has.
Yeah, like I don't want to talk about Howard the Duck, I want to talk
Nobody
about
wants to
video
talk
games.
about Howard the Duck. 'Cause most people haven't even seen. Nobody will even go see Howard the Duck anymore. If they do, I'm sorry for them. If you're young, I mean, if you're like 5, you should see Howard the Duck. You're not gonna get anything in it, and you're gonna think it
See,
was good until
I don't
somewhere.
feel safe showing my kids Howard the Duck.
Don't show your kids Howard the Duck. Come on.
They'd be like, "What the heck is this, Daddy?
There
I
is
hate this."
more. There is a lot of important movies from the 80s and 90s that they could watch other than Howard the Duck.
Like the Karate Kid, like the Goonies. I should show them the Goonies.
The Goonies is one to watch.
Yeah, I think the only '80s movie, like, would you count the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie an '80s movie? Because it came out in '89. So yes.
Yes, I do. I do because I even count Batman as
Yes.
it's hard to though because it is kind of right into the 90s because they don't seem like 80s movies. It's almost
Oh,
like in 89 everything has changed.
yeah, it's since '89. Yeah.
Because I remember everything in the 89 was really good. Everything in 89 is almost better anything in the 80s.
The first Batman movie was the first American movie I seen in the U.S.
Really,
Yeah, it's a Batman. It came out in May, I want to say. I can't remember.
I can't remember. I'm going to say you're right.
Yeah, beginning of the summer movie.
No,
Yeah.
I went and saw it in the theater.
Yeah,
It was awesome,
yeah, I know.
man. Because that before that, let's say I only would read GI Joe Marvel maybe. I
Hmm.
had maybe like Wolverine and Iron Man. That's all I would read. After watching that movie, then I started reading. That's when I started reading DC Comics.
Oh, really?
So
The first.
I
I thought you
didn't
read
pay
it
attention.
before Michael Keaton.
No, I got into. I had like I even had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics, but when I saw the Batman, that's when I started reading it. But I read DC comics,
So
Detective Comics
since we're off topic, right, and we're talking about Michael Keaton Batman, Michael Keaton's playing Batman now, right?
and the Flash.
In the Flash.
Yeah.
Is it one of those Infinity Crisis thing again?
No, it's going to be the Flash that we saw in the other Batman movie, Batman versus Superman
Oh.
in Justice League. It's going to be the
Yes.
same Flash. So I'm kind of like, what? I'm sorry, Matt Keaton. Michael Keaton's best role was the Vulture.
I don't know about best role. Let me think about this. I liked him in the other guys.
Oh no, I'm just saying. I should have said out of superhero
Oh,
movies now.
superhero movies. Okay, I
No,
got you.
actually, the best role for Michael Keaton was Batman in the first two.
The first two Batman. I like him in Beetlejuice.
Oh, I love him in Beetlejuice,
Yeah.
but that's not a Marvel movie. I mean, that's not a
Oh,
comic.
superhero movie. What isn't it? Isn't Beetlejuice a comic book movie?
No, no, I
So it's
can't think of it.
original.
I'd say it's original. I mean, come on,
It's Tim Burton.
it is Tim Burton. Tim Burton's all original, pretty much, except for he made Batman.
You know, I
All
I,
right, now he's not all original, but he's got a lot of original stuff.
I think one of my most favorite Tim Burton movies is Big Fish. I really like that movie.
Big Fish is really good.
Yeah, I really like Big Fish.
I'm gonna still say my favorite Tim Burton movie is the first Batman movie.
No, the first
I
Batman movie is
don't.
really
Well, I
good.
don't know because Edward Scissorhands is actually.
I had never seen Edward Scissorhands. Never.
Dude, I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
Well, I remember I telling you this too. I remember the trailers when I think it was in New York, but that time I was like, if my cousin didn't want to see it, right? Like that's it's not a wait for us to see, like me, my sisters to see it. Every time we go see a movie, right, it's with a big group.
Yeah, yeah. I was. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll see Edward Scissorhands. It's a good one. It's one
Yeah.
to see. It's
Oh,
one of his better movies, actually.
what
I
Johnny
want to say
Depp movie or Tim Burton?
It's one of Johnny Depp's better movies. It's one of
Oh,
Johnny Depp's best movies.
best.
I'm not
Wow.
gonna say his acting was that good. I like the movie for more of what it has to deal with, the
Oh,
message of the
okay.
story.
Oh, the
I'm thinking
message really.
I think that's what I like about it. Yeah, I mean, even today, I still watch it. I can watch it 1,000 times.
Oh, that's
I
interesting.
mean, the movie's silly, but I mean, I like it. I just love this movie. It's awesome. It's not an action like Batman. I mean, it's a
No,
different movie, but it's a good movie. It's a movie to see.
and you say it's
I mean,
original, right? It's not like based on
oh,
anything.
it's very original. It is a movie. It is one of the movies people should have seen in their life.
Wow, it was Scissorhands. I remember seeing the trailer for it. It was in New York at the
100%.
time. It was 91, right?
I think it was. I know it was
99 or
way back
90.
because I mean Johnny Depp. It had Winona
Yeah,
Ryder.
Winona Ryder. I remember that too.
Oh, it has a lot of famous people in this movie.
Man.
Oh, I love this movie. Alan Arkin is in it.
Oh, I know who that is. Yes, he was in Rocketeer.
Yes, I like it. He's like, oh, girls, the hormones.
It was
Oh, that movie is
Scissorhands.
such a good movie. Man, that's like I would say that's almost actually now that we're talking about it, maybe my favorite Tim Burton.
Oh, it was Scissorhands.
Yeah, but Tim Burton, I was a huge Tim Burton fan at one time. I mean,
A
I still
lot of
like his
people
movies,
were in the early
but
90s.
I mean, if it said Tim Burton, I went and saw it.
Yeah.
If it had Danny Elfman music on it, I
Oh,
went.
yeah. Danny Elfman is good.
I mean, I eventually got to where I started not liking uh, Tim
Tim
Burton's
Burton.
movies all that much, but at one time, if it was Tim Burton, it'd beat anything that came out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that's why I like the Batman movies because I like the art. I like the people, the artwork. I like the style. I like the music. I mean, everything he did was awesome.
Yes. I like Batman. Which one do you like better, Batman or Batman Returns?
I'm gonna go with the first one.
Yeah, I like the
I'm gonna go
first
with
one
the first
too.
one, but I do like the second one too. I like the first two Batman movies better than I like almost everything up into Christopher, man,
Christian
you
Bale.
know,
Christopher Nolan.
yeah,
When Christopher
Christopher
Nolan told
Nolan.
the story.
In a way, I still almost like Burton's better than Christopher Nolan's. I mean, Christopher Nolan's is more real, but to me, I'm like, why? Batman's a comic book. It doesn't have to be real. And then, because by the second and third movie, Batman's it takes place during the daytime all day, and
That's the
he's
whole thing
mainly
about
Bruce,
it.
and he's mainly Bruce Wayne. And I'm like, I don't really want to watch Bruce Wayne. I mean, Bruce Wayne's not Batman's interesting, but Bruce Wayne is not interesting to me because I mean, Tony Stark. I could watch Tony Stark all day long
Well,
at this point.
I see the Christopher Nolan's Batman is. I think the reason they picked Christian Bale so much better is because Christian Bale brings out that conflict that Bruce Wayne is
Yeah,
fighting.
well, I think it was just the acting from all of the characters in the Christopher Nolan movies were good. The cinematography was amazing. I
Excellent,
mean,
yeah.
it's modern. I think it has a lot to do with the modern movie. A lot of his stuff people didn't see because everybody's like, "Oh, Keith Ledger," and he was good. That was probably his best role,
Yeah,
and his Joker was good. But I still don't. I just to me, it's not a comic book movie. It's a movie.
it's a detective movie,
Yeah, it was more of a serious.
crime thriller.
Yeah, it was more of a. It was almost like, and it just happened to have Batman in it.
Yeah,
But why the first two Batman movies were a Batman movie.
yeah.
He had a comic book looking universe. He had comic book acting characters.
And I remember you said you told me that Tim Burton shoots everything in the studio. They never go outside.
I don't know about that now, but yeah, used to everything was almost like Hammer Films.
Right, it's controlled
Yes, I mean everything is on a soundstage. Like
like a TV
what is the
show.
movie? Sleepy Hollow. I love
Yes.
Sleepy Hollow too. I mean, I'm not gonna. I know it's not a big fan movie, but it looks like Hammer Films. If you ever watched the old horror movies where they made everything on a almost on a soundstage. I
Oh,
mean, I like that kind of stuff. I like how he controls it. He sets the tone and the color of the picture, the music to all this stuff.
yeah.
I mean, the guy's an artist to me.
Oh, he is an artist. Yes.
He's a very big artist. I mean, he's a little more more than a filmmaker in a way.
No, I agree. Yeah.
So
It was surprising that he took on Batman when he does so many original stuff.
exactly, the Batman was a surprise, and I mean, Michael Keaton. Look at him. He is not a guy you would think is a superhero.
Just tell me about it. I know,
I
a
know.
lot of
And I'm
people
not
talk
gonna say
about that.
I'm not gonna say he's the best Batman either, but I think he's the best Batman in a Batman movie.
Interesting.
It sounds funny, but I mean Christian Bell. If I see him and Christian Bell next to either, I do. Christian Bell is Batman,
Hmm.
you know. But I do like. I
So
like.
Ben
I
Affleck.
actually
What? So is Ben Affleck Batman to you?
actually Ben Affleck from one movie he is Batman. He would be to me. Ben Affleck could have been the best Batman,
Who's an
but
old Batman?
but after seeing Justice League, it damaged it for me because he went from being the man to me. And Affleck, when Affleck in Batman versus Superman was Batman. He was, even though people thought, oh, he kills people. I'm like, Batman, he had all the rage and the anger
Yeah.
that Batman's supposed to have. He even to
Oh.
me looked when he acted like he was Bruce Wayne. I was yes. If somebody pointed out him and Kristen Bell next to each other, said who's Bruce Wayne, I said Affleck.
Oh, Affleck, but Chris
He
Bale is the
acted.
Batman.
Yeah,
Oh.
he was to me he was more the Batman out of anything. He was gigantic, man. He was. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like Affleck, and Affleck has done some horrible crap.
Yeah. He's a better
But in that
director.
movie, but in the Batman versus Superman, I think he was the best Batman.
Hmm.
But by the time we get to Justice League, it's like he was not even the same character to me.
It goes back to what you said because it's a different person, different director, different
Yeah, exactly.
producer.
It's everybody trying to make him something else.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. That some people call he's the best Batman. I'm like, for that role, and he could have been. It's like when he started to make his own Batman movie. Maybe I would have rather been him have a director and a better story. And I think he could have been the best Batman.
Well, I was all for that when he was director because he's always shown
Well,
his
yeah, he
how
is
good
an
he is.
excellent
Yeah.
director. Yes, he is an excellent director.
So, but too
So
bad it didn't work out because Ben Affleck's been so good at everything he's directed. It's like
yeah,
he should not be acting.
yeah. And I mean, the problem is, I want a Batman. I want Batman. I want nighttime, dark, angry. I want that. I don't want this daytime detective. Oh, I drove my Ferrari, Lamborghini in front of you. I mean, I'm not knocking the other three movies because I watched the crap out of the last Christopher Nolan Batman.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I like it. I like the first one the best,
I like the
but I
first one
like
the
the one with
best too.
Bane. The one with Bane could have been the best to me. It's just it's like they
Oh,
missed a lot of story. It's like they
okay.
edited it out of a lot of good stuff.
You know what? The
But
whole
I'm
trilogy is good. I like Batman Begin the best too.
yeah, I think I like the first one the best.
I
And
do
also,
like Joker's ideology behind the second one, but the best line from all the whole Batman trilogy, right, is what Bruce Wayne says like, "Hey, it's not who I am underneath, right, but what I do that defines
yeah,
me." I love
no, I
that
mean
line.
exactly. And that was a good story. I mean, it was a good Batman trilogy. It's just I don't know. I just didn't feel it was this comic book enough for me.
Huh.
But I don't dislike it. I mean, but the problem is you got to be able to have a perspective. I mean, I noticed when those movies come out, anybody that didn't like them, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, you got to be able to dislike any movie, or you're never gonna get a better movie.
Yeah. How you
You
gonna
know?
grow, right? Yeah,
You
exactly.
I mean, come on. I mean, Christopher Nolan has made some. He make even his worst movies is a good movie, but still, he's made
What
some.
would be Christopher Nolan's worst movie?
To me, Nolan's worst movie. I haven't seen all his movies. To me, his worst movie, and I still like the movie, is Interstellar.
Oh, interesting. I love Interstellar.
I like Interstellar, but I still think it's not as good as his other stuff.
It's not as good. I like Inception better because I like the dreams thing. You know what? Me
Yeah,
and dreams. I love that.
Inception's way better. Inception would be my second favorite Christopher Nolan movie.
I
The
don't like
first,
Insomnia that much.
I never saw Insomnia,
With Al Pacino, Robin Williams, and Hilary Swank.
and I probably will never watch that one
Yeah.
because I'm just not that interested in it. My favorite though is the what was
The first one?
that? Yeah, no, it's the magician one. Christian Bell
The
versus
Prestige. That's my
the Prestige
favorite.
is my favorite movie.
I
Well, it's not my
love
favorite
The
movie. But
Prestige.
it's my favorite movie of his, and I will if I have a time, I'll watch it.
I watch it every time
You
too.
know, here's the funny thing is, I watch it, and I keep watching it, and I want to watch it again. And me and you need to watch it and talk about it.
Yes.
Because the thing is, I think the reason I keep watching it over again, I still like it, but also the reason I keep watching it again is because I think I'm missing something.
Well, you know
Like,
what? Like every time I watch the movie, right, I'm able to tell which one is Alfred and which
yes,
one is.
I can tell. I can
Yeah.
tell that. I can tell all that. I mean, I've watched it
Because
enough
like the
that I
first
think I
time
know.
you didn't know, right? But the second time their personalities are different.
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah.
You know a lot of things. And plus, he does certain things. But the thing is, I still feel like there's something else in the movie
That you're missing.
that is there, and we're missing it because of the line he says at the end of the movie. And it probably isn't, but I like it. He leaves it like you're still missing something.
Yes.
Because
You know what I'm
after you,
missing? Is that
yeah,
I
because
don't know whose daughter that is. That's the thing that's killing me. They don't know whose daughter it
I know
is.
whose daughter that is. The man who survived. That is actually his daughter.
Are you sure?
Yes, the guy who did all the tricks, that thought
Yeah,
all
the
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 tricks.
thought of that
That is his
he's not the
daughter.
hothead one. He's not the hothead twin.
Exactly. Yeah, he's not the hothead. He is the one that showed the tricks, and he met Rebecca Hall's character.
Yes.
Remember when he shows that little girl the tricks? Because he is the one who creates the tricks. He is
Yes.
not the stageman. The stageman is horrible. He's mean to Rebecca,
Yep.
and he likes Scarlett
Yeah, he's
Johansson.
got Johansson better.
He's in front of the. He's the one who spends the most time up on the stage. The other one is the guy who created all the
Yeah,
tricks.
behind the scenes. Yep.
And he's the one who survived.
He's not the showman.
Yeah, he's not the showman. The showman, because of his arrogance, died just like Wolverine's character.
Yes.
They're the ones who got in a fight with each other.
Yes.
It wasn't the guy.
him. Yeah, I know. I love the Prestige.
Yes.
You're right. That's my favorite Christopher Nolan movie. It's the Prestige.
That's
It's
the best
Batman
Christopher
versus
Nolan.
Wolverine.
Yes. It is the best.
It just made me so sad. I never saw that in the theater.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see it there. I didn't see it until you told me about it. Because remember,
Yeah.
me and you went to a video store and we saw you grabbed that movie and handed it to me, so I'm gonna see it. So I bought it. I've loved that movie. I've watched the crap out of that DVD.
The other movie I told you was the Dread. When I told you like, dude, this movie is fucking good, and you bought it.
Well, yeah, I think it was. It was.
Dude, Dread is fucking great. Like, oh my god, it's such a
It
good
is.
movie. We need to put that on. Like, then I went to watch the Stallone one. It's like, well, what the fuck am I doing?
Well, I saw the Stallone one first, and I
did too.
kinda like
I saw the
Stallone.
Stallone one in the theater.
I think I did too, because I remember when before the Stallone one came out, it came out with the making of it book
Yeah.
and I bought it, and then I went and saw the movie.
I'm like, okay, so the Stallone one, right? The idea was good. It's just how they deliver it was not.
Exactly.
Like
Well,
the twin brother thing is a good concept, but like, oh my god, they could have done this so much better.
what I don't like is the mask, removing the
Yeah,
helmet.
yeah, you told me that
No.
before because he's not supposed to.
I mean, I get it. I know why they did it.
Yeah,
Stallone.
because it's Stallone. That's the only reason.
But I'm like, Judge Dredd doesn't ever take his helmet off, ever.
I know, but
And I
that's
mean,
what the
to me,
producers want.
And that's the thing when you watch all the superhero movies, they always take the mask off. It annoys me. Like you won't be like Batman movie. He almost fights without his mask. And Captain America fights without his mask, but I give that to him. And I can get. We already know who Iron Man is, but
Yeah.
to me, some superheroes, if you're secret, then why are you taking the mask off?
You know, the first time they kind of took the Spider-Man mask off from Tobey Maguire, that reminded me of a fallen Spider-Man. I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah,
When he was
they're
fighting
going
Green
for it.
Goblin, yeah.
Yeah, because they're going. I mean, they made some of the shots look like his story.
Yes. I
And,
appreciate
the
that a
thing is,
lot.
I liked the Spider-Man, but I don't like it that much. It's not like I noticed like with my cousin, like you, all of y'all like that. I'm like, it's
I
good.
like
but
Spider-Man.
It wasn't that good.
Yeah.
It really wasn't that good. I like the Batman movies way over the Spider-Man movies.
No, I
actually like the last two Spider-Man movies more than I like any of the others.
Oh yeah, the Disney stuff, of course. I can't wait to see the third one.
Yeah, I know. Well, I heard somebody saying they thought the first ones are better. I was like,
First one, maybe like the Tobey Maguire one.
yeah, the Tobey Maguire one.
Okay, so of all the
I never
things I
saw the
read,
other
right?
two ones, the unnamed ones.
Yeah, that name was Garfield. So like, why I'm okay. So you know the who's the guy who played that something Modena, right? Whatever his
Yeah,
actor's
we
name
know
is.
who he is.
So I think they put his story out there to distract us from is Maguire and Garfield in this movie. You know what I mean?
Maybe,
To
maybe.
throw us off to stop thinking about it.
maybe. I mean, I hope it's good because I mean, I don't really want to see these other characters from this alternate world in the Spider-Man movie. I
don't
mean,
know.
it's
Depends
always
on how
worked out
they do
so
it.
far. It always works out so far, but the problem is the Sony part of it always sucks.
Well, Sony was part of the other two.
Yeah, and that's why I'm thinking they're not near as good as they could have been.
Oh, nice. But they were still good. It's not as near
No,
as
because
good.
actually Marvel had a different idea for Spider-Man. They were going to
Yeah.
make him even more like the Spider-Man from the comic books, but Sony doesn't want to. I mean,
Is
come
there a
on,
petition
Sony,
I can sign where Sony needs to
Come
release
on.
all the Spider-Man properties?
exactly. I mean, come on. Sony went and did a Venom movie without even tying it into Spider-Man.
You haven't seen
What
it?
stupid crap is that?
You haven't seen it? I keep
I don't
telling
know
you.
that I will. I don't
I,
know that I will.
I want you to so I can have your opinion on it.
Okay, well, one day I'll see it.
Because I'm still waiting for Mobius. Morbius.
Morbius, yes, and it
Morbius.
looks good. It looks good, but I'm like, Sony.
Well, I want to see Morbius because of Jared Leto. Me and Heather just recently watched Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah,
Oh my god, both of them they both won Academy Awards for that movie, right? Jared Leto and Matthew McConaughey, dude, both deserve it 100%. When we watch, it's like, well, this movie is really good. I almost cussed. I didn't want to now in this thing. It's really good. It just, McConaughey's Texan, obviously, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
like Jared Leto, man, I didn't know one of the guys from 30 Seconds to Mars could be this good at acting.
Man, Jared Leto's always good though. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
Jared Leto is good. Like even
He's
those little scenes he had in Blade Runner
he's also
2049.
extreme, man. He's an extreme actor.
Yeah, he's an extreme actor. I didn't know that he could do
He
that.
is
Yeah,
hardcore in the acting business, but
because
he is somebody else when he's
he
in
you
the
could
role.
totally tell it in Dallas Buyers Club. He played like a I don't know if you could like, is it a transvestite person?
I don't know. I didn't see the movie. I knew. I mean, I just know.
It's
I
based on a
know. I
true
got an
story.
idea of what the movie is. Yeah, I got an idea of the story is.
Yeah, but like he plays like a transvestite, right? Like, oh my god! Like the first time he spoke, I'm like, oh my god, that's Jared Leto. So I told Heather like, that's Jared Leto. That woman guy, yeah, Jared Leto. I remember the
Wow.
first time I saw him in Fight Club. It was awesome too.
Yeah, I forgot Jared Leto was in Fight Club.
Yeah, he was a kid with the blonde hair.
Yeah, that narrows him down.
Yeah. Yep. Gosh, maybe we should end it right here.
I think so because we're a long ways from Howard the Duck. Maybe.
We're an hour and 20 minutes, right? I think we talk about Howard the Duck for maybe 30 minutes.
I
Then we
think
went
so.
on like talk about video games and like
Well, let me
other
put it
movies.
this way.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, I think Howard the Duck was probably 30 minutes. It felt like an hour because they just drug it out.
It just drug it out. It just I like I said before, like the best thing I saw in that movie is just the duck costume, the work that they put in.
Yeah,
Kind of like
still don't. I don't. I guess I could say I still don't hate it. It's just, man, I don't know. It's
you
just
could
not as
get
good.
on with life without watching this movie, definitely.
Yeah, you can get on. It's not something to see. I
Yeah.
mean, you can still be a true to Marvel and still not see
Yes.
this movie.
Yeah, you don't have to see every Marvel produced thing, but we're
Yeah.
getting there though.
And please, if you can, don't see the Punisher either.
You know what? Now the only Marvel thing I haven't watched is Punisher Warzone.
I haven't seen that either. But I'm not. The thing is, the Punisher TV series from Netflix is so good. I think it just. I don't want to see. I probably won't see Punisher Warzone maybe.
I probably won't either. You're right. Yeah.
I don't know.
So you finished watching Punisher to season 1?
No, I haven't. But I saw him from the Daredevil, and I was like, it's already sold.
It's so good. Yeah, the Punisher season 1 is good.
It's more the Daredevil. It is the Punisher that you saw in the comics.
Yes.
Before, I thought the other Punisher with what was his name? Thomas Jane.
Yeah.
It was decent, but it's not as good as.
It's not as good as the TV show.
Oh,
There's
it's
no
not
way.
really.
It feels like they need more time to talk about it.
It had too many messed up spots in it. It could have been a better movie. It wasn't because it had too much.
He's in Miami.
Exactly.
Didn't the TV show talk about that? He make fun of that?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
They made fun of it.
Yeah.
Well, they made a few jokes about it.
Yeah, they made a few jokes about it. So yeah. All right, this really sucked for this Thursday. Okay, next time when we do something random, we gotta pick a better movie.
Well, it didn't suck that bad. You get to hear us.
Yeah. Listen to our opinion on other Christopher Nolan movies and video game stuff.
Yeah,
On Howard the Duck.
eventually we'll watch the movies. We'll eventually just do an episode for a Christopher Nolan movie one day.
We should definitely.
I mean, come on. There's already 5 that I can think of that we should talk about.
Yeah.
Now 6. Interstellar 2. Let's go ahead and do Interstellar 6.
Well, I recently bought Tenet. I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, well.
What? Have you seen it?
No, I'm just not that interested in seeing it right now.
Really? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you
watched
see it, and if you tell me it's good, then I'll watch it.
Okay,
Man,
I haven't
if
watched
it's good-
Dunkirk either. Is it
I haven't seen
Dunkirk?
that either.
Yeah.
I would actually like to see that one.
Yeah, I want to see that one too.
I like World War II stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I love World War II stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd see that.
Cool.
I forgot about that movie.
All right, then this is it for this awesome Random Thursday, and we'll see you guys on the next time. Thank you for watching this segment of our reviews. I hope you had a great time listening to us. Be sure to subscribe and give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one. Laters.